I don't think anybody has any illusions about Hillary Clinton. And with the exception of her core supporters, I don't think the people who voted for her have any illusions either. In their minds, she is simply the lesser of two evils, but evil nonetheless. It's impossible to deny the fact that Hillary is a liar, a chronic flip-flopper, and most likely a criminal whose maliciousness knows no bounds. And now that the Iowa primary has come and gone, we may be able to add cheater to that list as well. Or at the very least, some powerful people in high places may have given her a hand in Iowa. I'm no friend of socialism, nor do I approve of any of Bernie Sanders' policies, but if we're going to have a political system that lets its citizens participate, then we always have to point out when electoral fraud is afoot. And this particular primary election looks incredibly shady. For starters, everyone has been talking about the 6 delegates that Hillary won, each by coin toss. The odds of her winning 6 coin tosses in a row is 1 in 64. If half of those votes had been divided evenly to Bernie, he would have won. What people should be really asking themselves is, what are the odds of this many ties occurring in the first place? Or even one tie? Apparently it's never happened before. Obviously that doesn't prove anything, but it is suspicious when put into the context of more evidence. Then there is the fact that the Democrats didn't staff 90 of the precincts in Iowa. In other words, there are 90 precincts where it is impossible to know if the results were accurate. This amounts to about 5% of all the Democratic votes in Iowa. In a race this close, that is a pretty big deal. And who could forget that Microsoft provided a free app to both political parties that would help precinct officials count and validate the votes. This app called the election in favor of Clinton hours before anything was tallied. Of course, that's pretty messed up considering this could convince some people to stay home. And the Sanders campaign admitted they were highly suspicious of Microsoft's free software in the days leading up to the vote. Why? Because Microsoft's employees had given hundreds of thousands of dollars to Clinton's campaign in the past. The company itself has also given money to the Clinton Foundation while she was working for the State Department. They were among dozens of other companies that donated to the Clinton Foundation while simultaneously lobbying to the State Department. Clearly, Microsoft has no business being involved in any high-profile election. Finally, the most damning evidence so far comes from this video that was posted to C-SPAN's website. According to one person who was at the event, this was actually the second recount. Here's what apparently happened. So basically in the caucus they have to hand count everyone depending on what side they're sitting on. Well, when it came time to do the second count, the numbers were off. The first vote breakdown was like this. First vote, 215 Sanders, 210 Clinton, 26 O'Malley, 8 undecided, 459 total. And this is the second vote, 232 Clinton, 224 Sanders, 456 total. So somehow they lost 3 people, but Clinton's vote went up by 14. So basically what had happened was Hillary's team didn't take the time to do a full recount. Instead she just added the new people who joined the second vote. Which clearly wasn't an accurate count. Of course, none of this should come as a surprise to anyone who pays attention to these primary elections, because this is nothing new. In 2012, there were plenty of dirty tricks employed against Ron Paul's campaign in Iowa and other states, which essentially killed his momentum and paved the way for Mitt Romney's victory. It should be clear to anyone with eyes and ears that American elections are a farce, and have been for a long time. If a candidate hasn't paid his dues to the political and corporate elites of this country, and he hasn't waited his turn, he doesn't stand a chance of